Yo, hello, thanks for tuning in. So there's been a lot of talk about the Great Reset going on. And I hope you guys already been prepping, but if you haven't, don't even worry about it. Sit back, I got you. We're going to go over a few things that you may be able to purchase that won't be so expensive. And you may be able to just start prepping yourself slowly. So stay tuned, let's do it. Alright, so before we get into it, let me just say that this channel is not going to be political. Okay, if you are a human being and you're trying to prep, it really doesn't matter what political agenda you have, because as a responsible human being, you should be prepping. If not for the Great Reset, you need to be prepping for a minor setback. So, let's get right into it. Like I was saying, I want to go and layer these things like a cake for you as the channel progresses. I'm going to break things down in individual segments, so we may have a whole segment on water and food, since we already had a segment on gun safety or how you need to familiarize yourself with that platform in the first couple videos. Okay, then the next segment will probably be comfortability, getting into some generators, some things of that nature that you could use that would allow your family to be a lot comfortable if you had things such as a power outage and different types of scenarios. However, with all the talk going on about the Great Reset, I figure out I might as well get this out to you guys, and we can go back and layer it in at another time. But I'm just go over a few things with you guys, a few props and items. That way you'll have an idea of things that you could go out and purchase now on a budget. Okay, there are always going to be different tiers and things that are a lot more expensive that you can go out and purchase, especially if you're providing for a family. But if you're just, a solo prepper, or you're just working on a budget and some things that you want to go ahead and have because you feel anything is better than nothing, then I most definitely have a few things we can go over with you guys. So since we've already went over firearm safety and familiarizing yourself with that platform, the next tier would be food and water. And for food and water, I'm going to go over just a few things. Like I said, now this isn't going to be that cost expensive. So this is just a small scale, but this would be considered a water filter. It's pretty much similar to the life straws that they have. This is camo because I like the color camo. If you're not familiar with the life straw, pretty much life straws are designed to have filters inside between the actual point of where you would stick this into the water and the point where you would receive the water. It will actually filter out all of those contaminants. That way you could drink water clean, pure, without having to worry about being sick. And it's actually designed to withstand over hundreds of gallons, so that way you would be able to utilize this with yourself and a loved one or a family member if you needed to. Okay, so basically, like I was saying, this is a small scale. If you had a little more money, you could purchase either multiple water filters or you could purchase larger water filters. There are different types that you could have that withstand different amounts of gallons. They have some that withstand 1,000 gallons. They have some that you could actually pour into a half a gallon or a gallon jug, and it will filter it as you pour into other cups. So, you could always look into your water filters, look into water purifiers as well. They have little purifying tablets that you can pop in and let dissolve a few minutes, come back, shake it up a little bit, let it sit again. You should be able to have some clean water that way. So just different things, different little scenarios, and little gadgets and things you can get that can help you guys out with purifying water and keeping clean water around the house is always going to be important. A good way for storing water would be rain barrels. If you could, go out and purchase a big rain barrel. That way you can collect some fresh water. If you can't get a rain barrel, then go ahead and get something like a Home Depot bucket or a Lowe's bucket, something of that nature that you can have lids on. You can store a few gallons of water that way as well. When it comes to food, it's going to be lots of things that you can do. Canned goods, freeze-dried goods. You can do preserves, different things that'll give you a long food shelf life, and you will be able to store it away for a rainy day. There are a lot of MREs, just different things that you can purchase that, you know, if you had a good budget, you could go out and buy a bunch of those things, and just depending on the size of your family, you could have a good bit of it put away. But if you didn't, then, you know, you could always go out and get more inexpensive things. You know, you could go out and buy a bunch of noodles, for that matter, and not really spend a lot of money on it, but it has a long shelf life, and, you know, a bag of noodles with a canned good or so may be able to feed you and your family in a rough time. So the next layer is going to be comfortability. You know, if you have a family, or even if you're by yourself, you're going to want some form of power if you're in the event where the electricity isn't working at your house. So, you know, you can go out and purchase a big generator if you have a big house or a big family that consumes a lot of energy. You most definitely want to look into some outdoor generators. However, if you're a minimalist, or it's just you and you don't have a lot of money, on a small budget, you may be able to go out and purchase a solar powered generator, such as this one. I know I'm covering up my face. However, this is the Flash Fish. And basically, there are different brands, all types of different models. And pretty much, this is going to be your generator. You can go out and purchase a solar panel that you can put in your window or something of that nature. And this little generator should be able to power up small electronic devices for you. Hold it up a little bit more. But basically, like I was saying, just something on a small scale. And since it is solar powered, you should be able to reuse it and repurpose it throughout, you know, the days without having to worry about having gasoline or propane, as I was saying, some of the more expensive outdoor generators may provide. If you do have a little more money though, and you want to purchase you on a larger scale outdoor generator, please look into the dual systems. They have some that run off of gasoline as well as propane. So in the SHTF event, you know, if you can come across a few propane tanks, you will always be able to provide energy for your family. If you don't have propane tanks, but you're around a few cars, and you're able to siphon some gas or something of that nature, get you some gasoline going, you could always provide energy for your family with the outdoor generator. And just on another thing of comfortability, if you're saying, hey, Presidential Prepper, we ain't going out here and siphoning no gas, I got you. I understand that as well. They have automatic pumps nowadays, and they also have different water pumps that you can use as well. So this is going to be a water pump. Amongst other things you could use this for. However, you would basically just put in the tube here, and you would put a tube down at the bottom there, and where you were going to pump your gas, and all you got to do is just pull it, and it's going to siphon everything for you. So you really ain't got to worry about it. I know I ain't trying to put my mouth up to no gasoline. I ain't MacGyver or none of that. So I'm just a presidential prepper, man. I'm trying to make things presidential for y'all. And if it's on a budget, then, you know, something like that is very inexpensive. They have people have created electronic versions, so you don't even have to pump anymore. You could actually just turn it on and utilize one of those. If you have a larger budget, that may be something you can look into. However, you know, like I say, we're trying to do this on a small scale for now. If you got that budget, though, I can go back in the future events and we can go over a few more things. The next thing we'll be moving into with comfortability, though, if you have a wife like my wife, she loves to clean. She loves to make sure everything is clean. And she really doesn't consider it clean if it doesn't smell like bleach. So, you know, we ain't trying to go around store 1 million gallons of bleach. But, you know, I know in order for my wife to feel clean and make sure that she's in a clean environment, how important that was to her. So I was able to go out and get some of these bleach tablets. Okay, and each of these contains 32 tablets, which will be 32 gallons. All you would need is one tablet, drop it in a gallon of water, shake it up, let it sit for a while. You got your whole nother gallon of bleach. These are very inexpensive as well, but if you get you a couple of these and you're not able to go out and go to the store and you're running out of bleach at home or whatever, you know, you're able to keep the wife happy. That's going to be a big part of comfortability. If you're newly married, then you know that you might want to learn this as a prep. If you're not newly married, then you already know that's kind of prepping 101 with that. Happy wife, happy life. So, you know, just make sure you get inexpensive things of that nature. They also have cleaning products that you could go out and get tablets for as well. So if you have a bigger budget, you know, you may be able to go out and get you some window cleaner. You may be able to go out and get you just some different types of cleaners that also come in those tablet forms as well. Okay, so now we've covered comfortability, or just went over a few things that'll make it a little more comfortable for you guys. The next thing we want to get into is going to be communication. You know, having proper communication, or a secondary way of communicating and networking with your family and peers, is going to be very important. Now, this is just a two-way radio, so I'm only going to be able to get about 25 to 30 miles within line of sight of this two-way radio. However, that's pretty good for me. For you guys, if you need something a little bit longer, you may want to look into something like a ham radio. You most definitely want to look into getting a ham radio license if you go that route. However, in an emergency situation, I do believe that you could use a ham radio without having a ham radio license. Don't quote me on that, but I do believe that is the law. If there's an emergency or some type of event on that scale, you should be able to use a ham radio without license, but you still would want to familiarize yourself with that as you would with your firearm platform. So, you know, two-way radio seems to work good for me. Like I say, 25, 30 miles within line of sight, that's good. I got peers, I got family that we could reach out and communicate with via these instead of having to call on cell phones if the networks were down for whatever reason. So this is pretty good for me. If you look into other radios or have a little more money and a little more of a budget on you, then look into the ham radios, like I say, because with those ham radios, you can get a lot farther than those 25 to 30 miles. With a ham radio, you should be able to program it so that you can bounce off of satellite and you can communicate anywhere within the United States. I think I've seen people that have used ham radios and were able to communicate with people throughout Georgia all the way to California. So, you know, if that's something you want to look into, most definitely look into that as well. Like I said, I wanted to keep everything short for you guys. You know, on just a few things you can get into. Now, the reason we're going to be talking about the Great Reset, just really quick, I want to go over is because I actually saw a priest, a high priest, he's a cardinal actually, and I think his name is Cardinal Burke, and he was basically saying some things about how, you know, the United States government is utilizing this pandemic as a way to push an evil agenda. And basically he's saying that, you know, that evil agenda is going to go about causing the Great Reset. And if you're very religious, then, you know, you probably already are aware or been hearing of a lot of people talk about the Great Reset. So, you know, the good book does say no man shall know the date nor time. However, I know if you are religious, you're probably looking into some of the events that's going on currently, and you're saying, hey, it's looking pretty rough out there. However, if you're not religious and you're still a prepper, like I said, whether you're prepping for the Great Reset or just a minor setback, it's always good to go out and get some of these items, man. If you want to check out Cardinal Burke and the Great Reset, just put it in YouTube. I'm sure you can pull it up. He'll be able to elaborate for you on some of the things he was saying. However, it's my job basically to give you guys a little insight on things that you could get and help. Like I say, we're going to be layering this stuff in a later segment. We'll go over each prepping tier individually, so you'll be able to get a lot more elaboration. It's a lot of stuff I didn't cover, like power inverters instead of generators. You know, you can go out and get you a power inverter. What that is going to allow you to do is use a car battery or some type of small 12-volt battery, and it will provide an outlet so that you can plug in and provide power for your family as well, or yourself. So it's a lot of things that I'm going to go over that I haven't already went over, and once we roll everything out, you know, hopefully you guys will start taking note to some of these things and preparing yourself, because that's what I'm here for. So stay tuned, stick around for more. Thank you guys. Like, share, and subscribe, and God bless.